Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see what if Issei fell in love with Rossweisse. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. The evening sun cast long shadows across the Issei's backyard as he diligently trained. The air was filled with the sounds of grunts and the soft rhythmic hum of his boosted gear. He pushed himself to his limits, determined to become a stronger devil. But even as he unleashed bursts of his power, a sense of emptiness gnawed at his heart. Issei had always dreamed of finding true love, and his transformation into a devil had only intensified that desire. As the sun continued to descend, a familiar gentle voice called out to him from behind. Issei turned to see Rossweisse, the Valkyrie, standing there with a warm and reassuring smile. "Issei," she said, her voice soft and soothing, "you've been training so hard." Issei tried to maintain his composure, not wanting to appear too affected by her presence. "Yeah," he replied, forcing a casual tone. "Gotta keep getting stronger, right?" Rossweisse chuckled softly, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "You're quite the dedicated devil, Issei. But don't forget to take a break and enjoy this beautiful evening." He nodded, feeling a bit taken aback by her concern. Rossweisse had always impressed him with her intelligence and her unwavering loyalty to Rias, but tonight, he realized there was something more to her. There was a depth to her character that he had never fully appreciated before. Over the weeks that followed, Issei and Rossweisse spent more and more time together. They trained together, shared stories, and even embarked on missions side by side. Issei discovered that Rossweisse was not only a powerful Valkyrie, but also a kind and caring woman. She opened up to him about her past, about the loss of her comrades, and her reasons for serving under Rias. Issei admired her dedication and the strength it took to continue fighting even after so much loss. One evening, as they strolled through a nearby park, Rossweisse confided in Issei about her loneliness and the yearning for companionship. She looked at him, her eyes filled with vulnerability, and said, "Issei, it's not just the battles I've been fighting that have made me feel lonely. I've always longed for someone who understands me, someone who could fill this void in my heart." Issei was struck by her words. He could relate to her feelings more than he had expected. As a devil, he had always believed that finding love was an impossible dream. Yet, there was something about Rossweisse, something in her words and her vulnerability, that touched a chord within him. He placed a comforting hand on her shoulder and said, "Rossweisse, you're not alone. I've felt that loneliness too, especially since I became a devil. But maybe, just maybe, we can find what we're looking for together." Rossweisse looked at him, her eyes glistening with hope. "Issei, do you really think that's possible?" Issei smiled warmly and nodded. "I do. We can be there for each other, share our dreams and fears, and maybe, just maybe, we can find the love we've been searching for." Their connection deepened, and as they continued to spend time together, Issei found himself drawn to Rossweisse in ways he had never experienced before. Her intelligence, strength, and kindness had always impressed him, but now he saw her in a different light. He realized that he had fallen for her, and he couldn't help but want to be by her side. They went on more and more dates, exploring the human world together. They discovered the beauty of simple things, like a walk in the park, a quiet dinner, or a visit to an amusement park. Every moment they spent together deepened their connection, and Issei cherished every one of them. One day, he surprised Rossweisse with a visit to an amusement park. They rode roller coasters, played games, and shared laughter, making it a day neither of them would ever forget. As they watched the sunset from the top of the Ferris wheel, Issei couldn't help but think about the incredible journey that had led him to this moment. His feelings for Rossweisse had grown stronger with each passing day, and he knew he had to express them. He cleared his throat, trying to find the right words, and said, "Rossweisse, there's something I've been wanting to tell you." She turned to him, her eyes curious and full of anticipation. "What is it, Issei?" Issei took a deep breath and continued, "I've really enjoyed our time together, and I can't help but feel a strong connection between us." Rossweisse's eyes widened in surprise, and a hint of a blush crept onto her cheeks. She took a moment to respond, her voice soft and filled with warmth. "Issei, I've been feeling the same way. I'm glad you said that." The relief and happiness that washed over Issei were immeasurable. He reached for her hand, and their fingers intertwined, sealing the unspoken promise of their growing love. Their love story had only just begun, but it was already filled with shared experiences, dreams, and a deep emotional connection that would shape their future together. As the days turned into weeks, Issei and Rossweisse's relationship continued to flourish. Their shared experiences brought them closer, solidifying the bond between them. It was during these moments that Issei began to see the depths of Rossweisse's character, her resilience, and her unwavering commitment to those she cared about. They often trained together, combining their strengths and supporting each other in their pursuit of becoming stronger. Their battles against rogue devils and other supernatural threats pushed them to their limits, but they found solace in the presence of each other. Issei admired Rossweisse's intelligence and the tactical brilliance she brought to their fights. Her precise magic and her ability to think on her feet never ceased to amaze him. On a warm summer day, Issei and Rossweisse were tasked with investigating a series of mysterious disturbances in a nearby forest. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the atmosphere grew dense with an eerie, otherworldly energy. They exchanged a glance, silently confirming that they needed to proceed with caution. The forest seemed to come alive, and soon, they were surrounded by shadowy figures, malicious spirits intent on their destruction. Issei activated his boosted gear, ready to face the threat head-on, but Rossweisse raised her staff, reciting an incantation. Powerful gusts of wind swept through the forest, scattering the spirits and sending them fleeing in fear. Issei watched in awe as her magic dispelled the malevolent entities. "Wow, Rossweisse," he said, a mixture of admiration and pride in his voice, "you're incredible. I don't know what I would do without you." Rossweisse blushed, her usual stoic demeanor giving way to a hint of vulnerability. "Thank you, Issei. I'm grateful to have you by my side as well." Their camaraderie extended beyond the battlefield. In quieter moments, they would sit together and share stories about their pasts. Rossweisse revealed more about her time as a Valkyrie and the close bond she had formed with her fellow warriors. Issei, in turn, shared his own experiences growing up and the challenges he had faced as a devil. One evening, under the moonlight, Rossweisse confided in Issei about the pain of losing her comrades in battle. Her eyes glistened with tears as she recalled their sacrifices and the weight of survivor's guilt that burdened her heart. Issei listened with empathy, his heart aching for her. He reached out and gently placed a hand on her shoulder, offering his support. "Rossweisse, I can't imagine the pain you've been through, but I'm here for you. You don't have to carry that burden alone." She looked at him, gratitude and a hint of surprise in her eyes. "Issei, thank you for being so understanding. You're a source of strength for me." Their shared vulnerabilities brought them even closer, and Issei began to realize that he was falling deeper in love with Rossweisse. Her emotional depth, her resilience, and her kind heart were qualities that he had always admired, and they were now qualities that he cherished in the woman by his side. As the days turned to weeks and weeks to months, Issei and Rossweisse continued to strengthen their bond. It was evident to everyone in Rias' peerage that their connection was something special. They laughed together, supported each other, and faced the trials of the devil's world as a united front. One evening, Issei surprised Rossweisse with a visit to a quaint cozy restaurant, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The candlelit ambience and the aroma of delicious food created the perfect atmosphere for a romantic evening. They talked about their dreams, their hopes for the future, and the simple joys of life. As they shared a dessert, Rossweisse looked at Issei with a smile, her eyes shimmering with affection. "Issei, this has been a wonderful evening. I feel so lucky to have you in my life." Issei reached across the table and took her hand. "Rossweisse, I can't imagine my life without you now. You've filled a void in my heart that I didn't even know existed." Their fingers intertwined and their eyes met, sparking an unspoken connection that transcended words. Issei's heart raced, and he couldn't deny the intensity of his feelings for Rossweisse. This was more than just friendship, he was deeply in love with her. Their love story was growing, filled with shared experiences and moments that had solidified their bond. Rossweisse's intelligence and strength had always been impressive, but now Issei saw her as more than just a comrade. She was the woman he had been searching for all his life, and he couldn't wait to explore the future they would build together. As Issei and Rossweisse's relationship continued to flourish, their connection deepened with each passing day. The more time they spent together, the more Issei discovered the layers of Rossweisse's character, and the stronger his feelings for her became. Their shared experiences had formed a solid foundation for their budding romance. They continued to face challenges together as members of Rias' peerage. Battling rogue devils, supernatural threats, and protecting the peace of the underworld had always been a part of their lives. But now, they faced those challenges as a united front, their bond growing stronger with each trial they overcame. One day, a powerful enemy emerged, threatening the safety of the underworld. The pressure and danger of their battles took a toll on their relationship. As they clashed with this formidable adversary, their teamwork was put to the test. Tensions ran high, and they found themselves in a heated argument, their tempers flaring in the midst of battle. Issei and Rossweisse's voices clashed as they disagreed on their approach, their frustration and fear fueling their emotions. The mission was a success, but their relationship was strained. They parted ways that evening, each lost in their thoughts and doubts about the future. Issei couldn't shake the guilt and unease that had settled in his heart. He lay in his bed, staring up at the ceiling, unable to sleep. He had always dreamed of finding love, but now that he had it within his grasp, he feared that he was jeopardizing it. He couldn't bear the thought of losing Rossweisse because of their differences. The next day, he decided that he needed to make amends. He sought out Rossweisse, hoping to clear the air and salvage what they had. He found her in the garden, tending to a bed of colorful flowers. Her expression was somber, and her eyes held a hint of sadness. Issei approached her, his voice filled with regret. "Rossweisse, we need to talk." She turned to him, her eyes meeting his with a mixture of relief and apprehension. Issei, I've been thinking about last night too. I don't want us to be torn apart because of our differences. Issei took a deep breath, his shoulders slumping with relief. Rossweisse, I'm so sorry for letting my anger get the best of me. I never want to fight with you. I care about you too much. Rossweisse looked at him with a small smile, her vulnerability showing through. Issei, I'm sorry too. I let my own fear and frustration cloud my judgment. I don't want to lose what we have. Their eyes met and the unspoken love between them hung in the air. Issei reached for Rossweisse's hand and she didn't pull away. The warmth of her touch filled him with reassurance. He pulled her closer and they shared a passionate kiss, their lips meeting in a powerful affirmation of their love. As they broke apart, Issei looked into her eyes, his voice soft and sincere. I love you, Rossweisse. I never want to let anything come between us again. Rossweisse's eyes shimmered with tears of joy as she responded, I love you too, Issei. Let's face the challenges together, as a team. Their reconciliation was a turning point in their relationship. They had faced a significant hurdle and emerged stronger for it. Issei and Rossweisse realized that their differences were what made them unique and their love had the power to bridge those differences. They vowed to communicate more openly and honestly, ensuring that they would never let misunderstandings tear them apart again. Their love story continued to unfold and the challenges they faced only served to strengthen their bond. Issei admired Rossweisse's intelligence and her unwavering commitment to their cause even more, and Rossweisse loved Issei for his determination and unwavering support. Together, they faced a future filled with love, growth, and shared experiences. Their love had weathered a storm and come out stronger on the other side. Issei and Rossweisse were ready to face whatever the world threw at them, as long as they faced it together. Their hearts were entwined, their love unshakable, and their future brighter than ever. Issei and Rossweisse's reconciliation brought a renewed sense of passion and dedication to their relationship. They faced each day with a newfound appreciation for the love they shared and the bond they had forged. As time passed, they decided it was essential to nurture their romance by creating special moments together. One weekend, Issei planned a surprise for Rossweisse. He had noticed her fascination with art during one of their casual conversations and thought that an art gallery visit would be the perfect way to spend some quality time together. He had taken the time to research local exhibitions and found a contemporary art gallery that he believed she would love. On the day of the surprise, Issei woke up early and prepared a delicious breakfast for them both. He set the table with a bouquet of her favorite flowers and arranged the food on delicate china. He wanted the day to be as perfect as possible. The smell of freshly baked pastries filled the air as he heard Rossweisse approach the dining room. When she entered, her eyes widened in surprise at the sight of the beautifully set table. She turned to Issei with a warm smile. Issei, what's all this? He pulled out a chair for her and said, I thought we could start the day with a special breakfast before our adventure. Rossweisse's smile grew even wider as she took her seat. They enjoyed a leisurely meal, filled with laughter and affectionate conversation. Issei couldn't help but think how lucky he was to have found someone as extraordinary as Rossweisse. After breakfast, they dressed for their day out and Issei blindfolded Rossweisse before leading her to his car. He drove her to the art gallery, a little thrill of excitement coursing through him as he wondered how she would react. Once they arrived, he carefully removed the blindfold from Rossweisse's eyes, revealing the entrance to the gallery. Her eyes widened with surprise as she took in the modern building and the art pieces displayed in the windows. Issei, you brought me to an art gallery? She asked, her voice filled with wonder. He grinned and nodded. I remembered you mentioned your interest in art and I thought it would be a unique way for us to spend time together. Rossweisse's eyes sparkled with gratitude as she took his hand. Thank you, Issei. This is wonderful. They entered the gallery and Rossweisse was captivated by the array of artworks on display. They spent hours exploring the exhibits, discussing their interpretations of the pieces and sharing their thoughts about the artist's intentions. Issei admired Rossweisse's insightful perspective on art and it only deepened his love and appreciation for her intellectual depth. As they wandered through the gallery, they came across an interactive installation, a room filled with mirrors and reflective surfaces. Issei took Rossweisse's hand and together they entered the room. The mirrors seemed to stretch infinitely, creating a stunning illusion of an endless space. Issei gazed at Rossweisse's reflection in the mirrors, his heart swelling with love. Rossweisse, just like these mirrors reflect us in endless dimensions, my love for you knows no bounds. It stretches beyond what we can see, into a future where we'll create countless memories together. Rossweisse turned to him, her eyes filled with affection. Issei, you always find the most romantic things to say. He chuckled softly and pulled her close. It's easy when I'm with you, Rossweisse. They shared a tender kiss, their reflection multiplied in the mirrors around them. It was a moment that captured the essence of their love, infinite and boundless. After they left the art gallery, Issei took Rossweisse to a charming tucked-away restaurant nestled in the heart of the city. The intimate atmosphere and the soft glow of candlelight set the stage for a romantic dinner. Over plates of delicious cuisine, they continued to talk, opening up about their dreams and aspirations. Issei shared his desire to create a peaceful and loving home for Rossweisse, away from the dangers of the underworld. Rossweisse spoke about her longing for a life filled with happiness and the warmth of true companionship. "I want to make you my queen," Issei said with sincerity. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Rossweisse." Tears of joy glistened in her eyes as she nodded, her voice filled with emotion. "Issei, I love you with all my heart. I want to be with you forever." Their love was an unbreakable bond, and the promise of a future together was a dream they both cherished. Issei's heart swelled with happiness as they shared dessert, their hands touching gently across the table. As the evening drew to a close, they walked back to Issei's car, their fingers interlocked. The stars above shone brightly in the night sky, illuminating their path. Issei knew that the road ahead wouldn't always be easy, but with Rossweisse by his side, he was ready to face any challenge. Their love was a force that could conquer all obstacles, and he couldn't wait to see where their shared journey would take them. As they arrived back at Issei's home, they lingered in the car, not quite ready to say goodbye. Issei turned to Rossweisse, his voice filled with affection. "Thank you for making this day special, Rossweisse." She smiled and leaned in, their lips meeting in a gentle, heartfelt kiss. When they finally pulled away, she whispered, "Issei, I couldn't have asked for a more perfect day. I love you." He held her close, their bodies pressed together, feeling the warmth of her presence. "I love you too, Rossweisse. And I promise to make every day as special as this one." Their love was a force of nature, growing with each shared experience, each challenge, and each special moment. As they finally parted ways for the night, they were both filled with the knowledge that their love was stronger than ever and that their future together held endless possibilities. Issei and Rossweisse's love continued to bloom, growing stronger with each shared experience and each passing day. Their connection was undeniable, and their dreams of a future together were filled with hope and promise. But life in the world of devils was never without its challenges, and an unexpected trial soon tested the strength of their love. One fateful evening, a looming threat emerged in the underworld, sending ripples of unease through the ranks of Rias' peerage. A powerful and cunning enemy, a group of rogue devils known for their ruthlessness, had devised a sinister plan to disrupt the delicate balance of power. The news reached Rias' Gremory, their devil master, and she gathered her peerage to discuss the threat. The tension in the room was palpable as they devised a strategy to confront this formidable adversary. Issei and Rossweisse sat side by side, their hands occasionally brushing against each other, a silent reassurance of their presence. The threat, however, cast a shadow over the room, causing anxiety to settle in their hearts. Rias addressed the group, her voice filled with determination. "We must face this threat together, as a united peerage. We've overcome challenges in the past, and this time will be no different. We're family, and we'll protect each other." Despite the rallying words, the impending danger weighed heavily on everyone's minds. Issei looked at Rossweisse, seeing the concern in her eyes. He wanted to be her pillar of strength, the one she could lean on in times of trouble. The battle against the rogue devils was fast approaching. They had received information about the enemy's whereabouts, and it was decided that a preemptive strike was necessary to prevent their plans from coming to fruition. As the day of the mission arrived, the atmosphere was tense. Issei and Rossweisse prepared in silence, their armor and weapons at the ready. Issei couldn't help but worry about Rossweisse's safety, and he hoped that their love would guide them through the battle unscathed. The battlefield was a desolate landscape, a dark reflection of the chaos and danger that awaited them. The enemy appeared on the horizon, a formidable force with powerful abilities and a ruthless determination to carry out their malevolent plans. The battle was fierce and unforgiving, with each member of Rias' peerage giving their all. Issei fought valiantly, unleashing the power of his boosted gear to protect those he loved. He couldn't bear the thought of losing anyone, especially Rossweisse. As the battle raged on, Issei found himself separated from Rossweisse in the chaos of the fight. Panic and worry gripped his heart as he desperately searched for her, his fear for her safety overwhelming his senses. Moments later, he spotted her, engaged in a fierce duel with one of the rogue devils. Issei rushed to her side, determination fueling his every step. He unleashed his power, providing the support she needed to turn the tide of the battle. Their combined strength proved to be too much for the enemy, and they emerged victorious. But the cost of the battle was high, with injuries and exhaustion taking their toll on the members of Rias' peerage. The group gathered, taking stock of their injuries and fatigue. Rossweisse had sustained a minor injury during the battle, and Issei couldn't help but feel a rush of relief that it wasn't more severe. As they regrouped, Rias addressed her peerage. "We've faced this challenge together and emerged victorious, but the threat is not yet eliminated. We must remain vigilant." Issei looked at Rossweisse, his eyes filled with concern. "Are you okay? Your injury, is it serious?" She smiled weakly, her hand reaching out to touch his cheek. "I'm fine, Issei, thanks to you. I knew you'd come for me." The warmth of her touch and her words of reassurance eased the worry that had consumed him. Issei leaned in and kissed her gently, a silent promise that he would always be there for her. Their love was a source of strength, and it had helped them overcome yet another challenge. The battle had tested their bond, but it had also reaffirmed their commitment to each other. Issei knew that he would do anything to protect Rossweisse, and he was grateful that they had each other to rely on in the face of adversity. As they made their way back to their headquarters, their hands intertwined and their hearts filled with the knowledge that their love was unbreakable. They were ready to face any challenge, no matter how unexpected, as long as they faced it together. Their love was a force that would guide them through the darkest of times, and their future together held the promise of endless adventures and shared victories. The battle against the rogue devils had been won, but its aftermath left a lingering unease within Rias' peerage. The tensions and emotions that had simmered during the conflict threatened to cast a shadow over their unity. Issei and Rossweisse, too, had felt the strain on their relationship. The heat of the battle had fueled misunderstandings and tempers, leaving a trail of unresolved issues. In the days that followed, a sense of distance had grown between them. They both felt the need to address the underlying tension that had taken root. Issei knew that he couldn't let this conflict fester any longer. He needed to make amends and rekindle the warmth of their love. One evening, Issei approached Rossweisse as she stood by the window, her gaze lost in the city lights. He took a deep breath, gathering the courage to confront the issue that had been haunting them. "Rossweisse," he began, his voice gentle but determined, "we can't keep avoiding this. We need to talk about what happened during the battle." She turned to him, her eyes reflecting the mix of emotions that had been swirling within her. "Issei, I know. I don't want our relationship to suffer because of it. But it's not easy." Issei nodded, understanding her hesitation. "I'm sorry for letting my anger get the best of me during the battle. I never wanted to fight with you, and I hate the idea of us being distant." Rossweisse looked at him with a soft, appreciative smile. "Issei, I'm sorry too. I let my own fear and frustration cloud my judgment. I don't want to lose what we have. I care about you more than I can express." Their eyes met, and the unspoken love between them was evident. Issei reached for Rossweisse's hand, and she didn't pull away. The warmth of her touch reassured him. He pulled her into his arms, their embrace a silent declaration of their shared resolve to heal their relationship. As they held each other, Issei whispered, "I love you, Rossweisse. I never want anything to come between us again." Rossweisse rested her head against his chest, tears of relief and gratitude welling in her eyes. "Issei, I love you too. Let's face the challenges together, as a team." Their reconciliation was a turning point in their relationship. They had faced a significant hurdle and emerged stronger for it. Issei and Rossweisse realized that their differences were what made them unique, and their love had the power to bridge those differences. They vowed to communicate more openly and honestly, ensuring that they would never let misunderstandings tear them apart again. The days that followed were filled with open and heartfelt conversations. Issei and Rossweisse shared their fears, dreams, and insecurities, deepening their emotional connection. They acknowledged the importance of compromise, of listening to each other's perspectives, and of supporting one another through the challenges they faced in the devil's world. Their shared experiences, both the battles they fought and the moments of joy they shared, continued to shape their love. Issei couldn't help but admire Rossweisse's intelligence and her unwavering commitment to their cause. Her resilience and strength had always been impressive, but now they held a deeper meaning for him. With each day, their love was rekindled and reinforced. They spent evenings under the stars, sharing their hopes for the future, planning adventures they would embark on together, and dreaming of a peaceful life, away from the constant battles and dangers of the underworld. "I want to make you my queen," Issei said with sincerity. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Rossweisse." Tears of joy glistened in her eyes as she nodded, her voice filled with emotion. "Issei, I love you with all my heart. I want to be with you forever." Their love was an unbreakable bond, and the promise of a future together was a dream they both cherished. Issei's heart swelled with happiness as they shared dessert, their hands touching gently across the table. Their reconciliation had rekindled the flame of their love, stronger than ever. Issei knew that he had found the one he wanted to spend his life with, and he was determined to make every moment they shared special and meaningful. As they made their way back to their home, hand in hand, the stars above seemed to shine even brighter. Issei knew that their love was a force that could overcome any challenge, and their future was filled with the promise of endless shared experiences and deep, unwavering love. Issei and Rossweisse's love had weathered the trials of the battle and the subsequent reconciliation. Their bond had emerged stronger, and their hearts were more connected than ever. Their journey of love continued to unfold, filled with moments of growth and understanding, as they faced the challenges of the devil's world together. Their shared experiences only served to deepen their emotional connection. Issei admired Rossweisse's intelligence and tactical brilliance, but now he saw her not just as a comrade, but as the woman he had always dreamed of. Her unwavering support and her kind heart were qualities he cherished more with each passing day. As time passed, their relationship evolved and they began to plan their future together. Issei envisioned a life with Rossweisse, away from the constant dangers of the underworld, filled with love and shared adventures. He wanted to make her his queen and create a peaceful home where they could build a life together. One evening, as they sat on the rooftop of their shared living space, Issei couldn't help but share his dreams with Rossweisse. The stars above shone brightly, and the cool breeze of the night played with their hair as they looked out over the city. Rossweisse, Issei began, his voice filled with a mix of excitement and sincerity, I've been thinking about our future together. She turned to him, her eyes reflecting the curiosity and warmth in her heart. Tell me, Issei. He smiled and continued, I want to create a world for us, a world where we can be together without the constant threats and battles of the underworld. I want to make you my queen, to build a life filled with love and happiness. Will you be my queen, Rossweisse? Tears welled up in her eyes as she gazed at him with adoration. Issei, you're making all my dreams come true. Yes, I will be your queen, and I want to build a life with you, filled with love and happiness. Issei couldn't contain his happiness as he pulled her into his arms, sealing their shared dream with a kiss under the starry night sky. They were ready to face the challenges that lay ahead, united in their commitment to each other and their shared vision of a beautiful future. Their love story continued to unfold, each day bringing them closer and solidifying their bond. Issei admired Rossweisse's intelligence, her unwavering commitment to their cause, and her resilience even more. Her strength was the anchor that grounded him in the chaos of their world. As they faced the challenges of their devil lives, they did so as a united front. Their connection was unshakable, and the support they provided each other was unwavering. The battles they fought together only served to deepen their love, and they cherished every moment they spent side by side. Issei couldn't imagine his life without Rossweisse, and he knew that she was the love he had been searching for. Her intelligence, her kindness, and her unwavering support were the qualities he cherished most in her. Their love was the force that guided them through the trials of their lives, and it was the beacon that lit their path toward a future filled with hope and promise. One evening, as they lay in each other's arms, Issei gazed into Rossweisse's eyes, his voice filled with a quiet, heartfelt sincerity. Rossweisse, I love you more with each passing day. You're my strength, my love, and my future. I can't wait to spend my life with you. She smiled, her eyes glistening with tears of happiness. Issei, I feel the same way. I love you with all my heart, and I can't wait for our future together. Their love was a growing force, a bond that continued to strengthen with each experience they shared. Issei and Rossweisse knew that they were ready to face whatever challenges came their way, as long as they faced them together. Their love was unbreakable, their future brighter than ever, and their hearts intertwined in a promise of forever. They were ready to continue their journey, hand in hand, growing stronger together with each passing day. But their love stronger than ever, Issei and Rossweisse began to envision a future together filled with hope, dreams, and a life of peace, away from the dangers of the underworld. Their shared experiences and unwavering commitment to each other had solidified their bond, and they were ready to take the next steps in their relationship. One sunny afternoon, Issei and Rossweisse sat in their favorite spot in the garden, the gentle breeze ruffling the pages of the book Rossweisse was reading. The tranquility of the moment allowed them to reflect on the life they wanted to build together. Issei broke the peaceful silence with a heartfelt question. Rossweisse, have you ever thought about what kind of life you'd like to have in the future, away from the constant battles? She closed her book and smiled, her eyes filled with a soft contemplative light. I have, Issei. I dream of a life where we can be together without the fear of danger lurking around every corner. A peaceful life where we can pursue our dreams and build a home filled with love. Issei nodded in agreement, his heart swelling with excitement. That's exactly what I've been thinking too. I want to create a world where we can live in peace, where we can wake up together each morning and cherish every moment. They both knew that their journey to such a life wouldn't be easy. The underworld was a place of constant turmoil and danger, and leaving it behind would be a significant undertaking. But they were prepared to face the challenges together. Issei continued, I've been thinking about the first step toward that future. We need to talk to Rias about our plans, about our desire to build a life away from the constant battles and dangers. Rossweisse's eyes brightened, her trust in Issei unwavering. I agree. We should discuss it with Rias. She's our master, and she cares about our well-being. I'm sure she'll understand our desire for a life outside the underworld. Their resolve solidified, and they decided to approach Rias and share their dreams of a future together. They knew that their master valued their happiness and safety and would support their decision. When the day came to discuss their plans with Rias, they gathered in her office, and Issei began to explain their desires. He spoke about the life they wanted to build together, the dreams they had for their future, and the promise of a peaceful and loving home. Rias listened attentively, her expression thoughtful and caring. After Issei had finished, she nodded and offered a reassuring smile. Issei, Rossweisse, I care deeply about your happiness. I understand your desire for a peaceful life away from the constant battles and dangers of the underworld. If that's what you want, I'll support your decision." Their hearts filled with gratitude as they thanked Rias for her understanding. They knew that their future was taking shape and they were excited to take the first step towards a life they had always dreamed of. With Ria's blessing, Issei and Rossweisse began to plan the logistics of their future. They decided to leave the underworld and move to a peaceful human realm where they could live without the constant threat of supernatural danger. Issei's determination to create a loving and safe home for Rossweisse was unwavering. Their preparations for this new chapter in their lives were filled with anticipation and excitement. They found a quaint home in a quiet, picturesque town, surrounded by nature and a peaceful environment. They decorated it with love and care, making it their own sanctuary away from the chaos of the devil world. Issei's love for Rossweisse only continued to grow as he supported her in building the future they had both dreamed of. He admired her intelligence, her kindness and her strength, and he couldn't wait to spend the rest of his life with her. One evening, as they sat on the porch of their new home, watching the sunset behind the hills, Issei took Rossweisse's hand and gazed into her eyes, his voice filled with love and devotion. "Rossweisse, this is the beginning of our future, and I couldn't be happier. I love you more with each passing day, and I can't wait to share every moment with you." She leaned in, her lips meeting his in a sweet, heartfelt kiss. "Issei, I feel the same way. I love you with all my heart and I'm excited to create a life together, away from the battles and danger. Our future is filled with love and happiness." Their love was a force that had guided them through challenges and triumphs, and it was now leading them toward a beautiful future. Issei and Rossweisse's hearts were entwined, their love unbreakable, and their journey together was just beginning. With each shared dream and every step forward, they grew closer, building a life filled with hope, love, and endless possibilities. Issei and Rossweisse's life in their peaceful new home was everything they had dreamed of. They had built a life filled with love, away from the constant battles and dangers of the devil world. Their journey together had been one of growth, understanding, and unwavering commitment to each other. As time passed, Issei knew that he wanted to take the next step in their relationship. He had been planning a special moment for a while, and he couldn't wait to ask Rossweisse the most important question of his life. One sunny afternoon, Issei took Rossweisse to their favorite spot in the garden, a beautiful flower garden that he had secretly prepared for the occasion. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sun's warm rays bathed them in a soft golden light. Issei's heart raced as he took a deep breath and turned to Rossweisse. "Rossweisse, there's something I've been wanting to ask you." She looked at him with curiosity, a smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "Issei, what is it?" He took her hand and led her to the center of the garden, where a heart-shaped arrangement of colorful flowers had been carefully arranged. Issei dropped to one knee, his heart filled with love and determination. He pulled out a small velvet box from his pocket and the anticipation in the air was electric. "Rossweisse," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "from the moment I met you, my life has been filled with joy and love. You are the most incredible person I've ever known and I can't imagine my life without you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, building a future filled with love, happiness, and endless adventures." Tears welled up in Rossweisse's eyes as she realized what was happening. Her heart raced and she nodded, her voice trembling with emotion. "Issei." He opened the velvet box, revealing a stunning diamond ring. "Rossweisse, will you marry me and become my queen, my partner in life, and my eternal love?" Her tears of joy fell freely as she exclaimed, "Yes, Issei. 1,000 times yes." Issei's heart soared as he slipped the ring onto Rossweisse's finger, sealing their promise with a loving and passionate kiss. The garden seemed to come to life around them, the flowers echoing their happiness. Their love was now a promise of forever, and their future together was brighter than ever. Issei and Rossweisse were ready to take the next step in their journey, hand in hand, building a life filled with love, dreams, and a promise to be together always. As they shared the news with their loved ones, their friends and Rias' peerage, the joy was contagious, and the celebration that followed was filled with laughter, love, and heartfelt congratulations. Their engagement marked a new chapter in their love story, a testament to the strength of their bond and the power of their love. Issei and Rossweisse were ready to embark on a new adventure, and their hearts were entwined, their love unbreakable, as they looked forward to a future filled with hope, dreams, and the promise of forever. With their engagement, Issei and Rossweisse's love story had reached a beautiful climax, and they were now on the threshold of a new chapter in their lives. Their journey together had been marked by growth, understanding, and unwavering commitment to each other, and their future held the promise of a lifetime filled with love and endless adventures. As they began planning their wedding, their bond continued to deepen. They shared the excitement of choosing a venue, selecting flowers, and deciding on the perfect date for their special day. The support and love from their friends and Rias' peerage only made the journey more memorable and heartwarming. The wedding day arrived, and it was a beautiful celebration of love. Issei and Rossweisse stood before their loved ones, sharing their vows with promises of eternal love and devotion. The ceremony was a testament to the love they had built and it filled their hearts with joy and gratitude. After the ceremony, they danced their first dance as a married couple, their eyes locked in a loving gaze. The music swirled around them and the world seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them in the center of the universe. Issei leaned in and whispered, "I love you, Rossweisse." She smiled and responded, "I love you too, Issei." Their future was now officially intertwined, a journey they would take together, hand in hand, filled with dreams and the promise of forever. Issei's unwavering support for Rossweisse was a constant source of strength for her, and she cherished every moment they shared. Their love story was a testament to the power of love, a force that could overcome challenges and trials. As they celebrated with their friends and family, Issei and Rossweisse couldn't help but feel the warmth of their love and the happiness of their happily ever after. The love they had built was a beacon of light, guiding them through the challenges they faced in the devil's world and leading them toward a life filled with love and endless possibilities. Their hearts were entwined, their love unbreakable, and their future was brighter than ever. And so, Issei and Rossweisse continued their journey, side by side, in a life filled with love, laughter, and shared experiences. They knew that their love was a treasure, a promise, and the most beautiful story they could ever have. And so how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.